This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. William Knibb High admin worried about growing occult obsession as boy killed in school fight. A school administrator has sounded the alarm about children's growing obsession with occult practices in the wake of a deadly fight between students over a guard ring. Audrey Steele, acting principal of William Knibb High School in Trelawney, said the Western Jamaica school was reeling from the stabbing death of 16-year-old Kamal Hall on Monday. Steele said also that educators faced another troubling trend, the smuggling of weapons past security checkpoints, a lapse that the accused student reportedly confessed to having exploited to slip through with the knife that was used to stab Kamal, a 10th grader, in the back around 11:05 a.m. The weapon was reportedly hidden in his shoe. The school community is shocked, said Steele, because both boys were reportedly well behaved. Many of these students are wearing these rings, and we have quite a number of them that we have confiscated over time, so I don't know what value they have placed on these rings, but we are constantly taking away these rings, said Steele. The more you confiscate them is the more they come, she added, while displaying a couch of confiscated knives and guard rings, some adorned with skulls and crosses. Guard rings are believed to hold a supernatural power for the wearer, providing protection from harm and even death. Following Monday's violence, classes at William Knibb were suspended for the remainder of the day. The acting principal said that the board was scheduled to meet late Monday afternoon to decide on the school's operations for Tuesday. Reports are that the students were on a short break when the now detained student approached Kamal, a goalkeeper on the Costa Cup team, and accused him of stealing a guard ring from a friend. It is further reported that Kamal used a length of bamboo to strike the boy, who allegedly retaliated by stabbing Kamal. The 16-year-old was rushed to the Falmouth Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The accused, whose name has not been revealed because he is a minor, is in the custody of the Falmouth police. The bloodshed came hours after Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, commander of the St. Catherine South Police Division, forewarned of a school crisis with many at-risk youths tainted by gang and antisocial associations returning to full-scale face-to-face classes. We have seen where it has already started in some parishes, and I am predicting that we are going to have hell for at least another year with these children returning to face-to-face classes, Phillips said in a news interview on Monday. In addition to going after the seasoned gang members, we have to look out for the at-risk youngsters who would have interacted with them. Some probably got involved whether as lookouts or were used as pawns in extortion rackets. A senior cop from the Trelawney Police Division has expressed a concern about the tentacles of organized crime in schools, sharing with the news that several students have been flagged as perpetrators of the lottery scam. That scheme, which mushroomed in Jamaica almost 20 years ago, targets mainly elderly American citizens, fleecing them of hundreds of thousands of US dollars on the basis of bogus sweepstakes winnings. Our investigations have revealed that a number of these students are actively in the lottery scamming, and that these guard rings are purchased through scamming, the senior cop, who requested anonymity because the details of investigations are privileged, said on Monday. These students have been out of school for close to 2 years, and a number of them are caught up in this illegal practice of making quick money, which they use to purchase these rings, which are very expensive. Some guard rings cost between $100,000 and $150,000, the news understands. Those developments are cause for concern for William Knibb High School Board Chairman, the Reverend Jonathan Hemmings, who described the incident as very tragic. We would want to spare a thought to both families. It is a devastation for the school, so much that for emotional health, we have to close the school for the rest of the afternoon, Hemmings said in a news interview. But he was quick to defend William Knibb's record, saying the incident was not evidence of systemic breakdown at the institution. One must also understand that this tragic event is nothing that the school encourages or tolerates, because up to this morning, 2 students were suspended for carrying weapons. This is nothing that the school encourages, he said. One more fatality from Hanover crash on Friday. A 34-year-old truck driver is the latest victim of the two-vehicle crash on the Round Hill Main Road in Hanover last Friday, which claimed the life of a U.S. national. The Corporate Communication Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force confirmed that Wayne Johnson of a Caymanas Country Club estate address in St. Catherine succumbed to his injuries on Monday morning. He had been driving an Isuzu motor truck when it collided with a car driven by a U.S. national that had veered out of control. It was previously reported that 44-year-old James Martinez of Marietta in Georgia, USA, died from injuries he sustained in the collision. Reports from the Sandy Bay police are that about 6 p.m., Martinez was driving a Toyota Crown motorcar from Montego Bay, St. James. Upon reaching a section of the roadway, he allegedly lost control of the vehicle and collided with the Isuzu motor truck driven by Johnson that was traveling in the opposite direction. The police were alerted and all three occupants of the Toyota Crown were taken to hospital where Martinez was pronounced dead. 2 female occupants of the car were admitted. NWC continues a crackdown on water thieves, 2 convicted. The National Water Commission has vowed to continue its crackdown on water thieves in Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Last month, 2 residents of Alligator Pond, Manchester, were charged with water theft when they appeared in a Manchester Parish Court. Adassa Charmaine Nelson and Krista Williams, both of Alligator Pond Housing Scheme addresses, both pleaded guilty. They were each fined $100,000 or 3 months in prison. The NWC has also back-charged them for the illegal usage of water. Nelson was back-charged $155,386.93 and Williams a total of $148,084.92. The NWC says Nelson's account supply had been disconnected from October 2015, while Williams' supply was disconnected from April 2012. The 2 were charged after a disconnection exercise in the fishing community by the NWC Revenue Recovery Team, along with members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force late last year. The same operation resulted in 22 accounts being disconnected for arrears in excess of $1 million, the discovery of 4 bridged supplies owing over $200,000, and disconnected accounts with a balance of over $100,000, and the removal of 8 illegal connections. NWC's regional manager, Jermaine Jackson, has asked residents to desist from illegally connecting to the company's systems. We have invested millions into the New Forest system, which serves this area, drilling new wells and doing upgrades. We pay the Jamaica Public Service Company alone $5 million per month for electricity to operate the system, he said. But as for revenues, we are collecting less than 10%. Customers and the potential customers need to do their part by paying their bills and regularizing their connections to our supply. The NWC said this week it is continuing its revenue recovery efforts in the following areas of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. In Manchester, all commercial accounts with outstanding balances: Christiana, Oxenbedy, Victoria Town, Prospect, Miketown, Hearties, Bonita Crescent, 3 Chains, and Hanbury. In St. Elizabeth, all commercial accounts with outstanding balances: Treasure Beach, Balaclava, Alligator Pond, Locovia, Comfort Hall, Flaggerman, Junction, and Santa Cruz. Advocates Association wants police personnel to wear body cameras. The Advocates Association of Jamaica is calling for the police to be equipped with body cameras in light of the proposed life sentence for illegal possession of firearm with convicts not eligible for parole before 15 years in prison. Clients have approached us with complaints that the police fabricates cases against them, saying that they fired at the police as a means of grounding cases against them, Leonard Green, president of the AAJ, said recently. In those circumstances, the situation could be rectified by the provision of body cameras to ensure that the police officers do not fall prey for the temptation of providing untruthful evidence against the persons who are innocent, said Green. Strong criticisms were made by the Court of Appeal this year as to its reasons for freeing Ponja Lee last year. Lee was sentenced in 2016 to 15 years imprisonment for shooting at the police but spent 5 years in prison before his acquittal. The court upheld the submissions from attorney-at-law Jacqueline Cummins, who represented Lee, that the ballistics evidence did not support the evidence given by the police witnesses. Crown Counsel Andre Wedderburn was applauded by the Court of Appeal for his candor in conceding that the judge failed to show how she resolved the discrepancies between the forensic evidence and that given by the policemen. Wedderburn conceded also that there was the risk of a miscarriage of justice as the conviction was not safe. Justice is not literally blind and the scientific evidence does not lie, Cummins said in response to Lee's acquittal. The court found that there was a miscarriage of justice because the trial judge did not deal adequately with the evidence given by 4 police officers in relation to the shooting incident. The ballistics report showed that of the 4 policemen involved, only 2 of them fired their weapons, and all the expended shells at the scene came from their firearms. The Nissan motor car had several bullet holes. Lee was convicted in April 2016 on charges of illegal possession of firearm and shooting with intent. He was sentenced a month later to a total of 15 years imprisonment. He said in his defense that it was the police who fired at the motor vehicle in which he and other men were traveling. One of the policemen had testified that on February 18, 2014, he was on duty on Hagley Park Road, St. Andrew, when he spotted a heavily tinted Nissan motor car traveling in front of his unmarked police vehicle. He heard a radio transmission and in response radioed police control. He followed the motor car on Olympic Way, Kingston 11. He saw a marked police vehicle trying to stop the motor car, but it drove onto the sidewalk and sped away. He said the occupants of the Nissan motor car fired shots in his direction and he returned the fire. The car stopped on Phillip Avenue and the 3 men alighted from the vehicle firing shots. The third man, who was the accused, Lee, was seen sitting on the sidewalk with blood on his back. Lee was taken to the hospital because he was shot. The Court of Appeal found that each of the 3 police officers who were on Olympic Way observed the incident differently and so did not support the forensic and photographic evidence. The court said that the account by the policeman in the unmarked police vehicle as to the chain of events on Phillip Avenue did not support the forensic and the photographic evidence of what took place. It was the court's finding that the judge did not demonstrate any consideration of the fact that the ballistics report did not support the claim of shooting from persons inside the Nissan motor car. If the officers were shown to have lied on these important issues, then how could they be found to be witnesses of truth? The court queried. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.